And I was thinking about the top 3 reasons why I left evangelical Christianity. Reason number 3, why I rejected evangelical Christianity. I rejected the harmful treatment of LGBTQ plus people. This is a passion for me. The problem is I watched many LGBTQ plus people experience shame, rejection, identity control, anxiety, depression, and sometimes complete estrangement from family and church communities. You know, we're in the 21st century and we are still debating this topic and still clinging on to outdated, harmful, juvenile, and frankly stupid views that we think we get from the Bible to harm an already vulnerable, marginalized community. Well, why I changed my mind. Research. It's called science. Research consistently finds that LGBTQ plus individuals raised in strict religious environments or social environments face significantly higher risks of depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, mental health disorders, and so on and so forth. When they carry around this internalized shame, compared with those who receive affirmation and acceptance, it's a world of difference. And the results are measurable. They're measurable. I'm not just sitting here making them up out of my own head. I'm not on some liberal agenda trying to undermine the Bible and destroy your faith. I'd like you to keep your faith if you're already a Christian. I'm not here to destroy anybody's faith. I'm here to share some critical thinking points with you and things that I discovered once I decided to finally really be honest with myself, with the text, and with history, and with others. More broadly, the rigid and high control belief systems like we find in evangelical Christianity can intensify the psychological distress when a person's identity is treated as fundamentally broken or incompatible with divine acceptance. That's unacceptable behavior by us as the church and by you as an evangelical Christian. So what about the Jesus question? Well, what finally challenged me was a simple question. If Jesus said the greatest commandment was to love God and my neighbors as I love myself, and he didn't make any qualifiers there, all of your neighbors, okay, just read the red letters, that's what he said, then what should take priority when doctrine and human well-being collide? Do we go by the letter or by the spirit of the letter? Well, I became convinced that many churches were being legalistic and going by just the letter. And they were protecting theological systems that were actually hurting people. Hate toward LGBTQ plus people kills people, okay? It takes lives. No, that's not hyperbole. And if you think it is, then you're just ignorant of the real medical and scientific research that's out there that has measured this. Study after study. It's not just one isolated study. These studies have been going on for decades, folks. And so my conclusion is I no longer believe that loving my neighbors means condemning them for who God made them to be. I believe love, dignity, compassion, and inclusion, as Jesus demonstrated, to women, to Samaritans, so on and so forth. I believe that inclusion, compassion, dignity, and love are more faithful to the spirit of Jesus than exclusion and shame. And so in closing, I did not leave evangelical Christianity because I stopped caring about truth. I love truth. I'm living my truth. I left because I cared about truth enough to keep asking questions. That's the dangerous part. They don't like you asking questions. They don't want you looking at the man behind the curtain. Move along. There's nothing to see here. Worship the great and powerful Oz as, boom, quench that fire. No, fuck the man behind the curtain. I dared to question him. And you know what? I saw the emperor has no clothes. So there you go. That's why they don't want you questioning. I didn't leave because I hate Christianity. I don't. I'm still a professing, queer-affirming Christian. I left because I can no longer reconcile these doctrines with history, scholarship, conscience, and the teachings of love that drew me to Jesus in the first place. What happened to the Jesus in the New Testament? Jesus is draped in an American flag and carrying an AK-47. And he's become our Jesus. Well, he's not my Jesus. That's not the Jesus I serve. For me, freedom began when certainty ended. I'll say that again. Freedom, for me, began the moment I decided I'm going to take authority over my life and assert my autonomy and use some critical thinking and reassess my beliefs and continue to reassess my beliefs. That's part of progress. That's why I'm a progressive Christian. I do believe in progress and not staying static, not staying on dogma. It's immovable, black and white, must be this way. No, it must not be this way. It needs to be however it needs to be in order for me to live a life of human flourishing and for you to live a life of human flourishing. And rigid dogma is not the way to do it, let alone the doctrines of original sin, hell, and then the doctrine of exclusion of our LGBTQ plus neighbors. So that sums up 3 reasons why I left evangelical Christianity. If you find that this video has resonated with you, then hit like and subscribe below, and also check out my music. Proud Heretic, yes, my album has come out last month, May 16th. You can also find the link to that below, along with my merch line, Proud Heretic merch line. I've got it all just right down there. So thanks again for joining me for this episode of Deconstruction Diaries, and we'll check you next time. Peace.